right, Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and foreign Israelites that look like the other nations, scattered across the four corners of the earth. First and foremost, want to face the east. Give all praises to Barak to Yahawah. Barak to Yahawashi. Barak to Yahawah. Barak to Yahawashi. Gotta give all praises. Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham. We give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, who led me to this truth, who have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness. And mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, is be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. And it is unto a ring. 2nd Esdras chapter 5, verse 42. And we're coming down to the end of the end times of these wicked nations. And Lord willing, we part of that number who are delivered in their time. Shalom to all the brothers out there, all the RQ that are pushing this truth across the four corners of the earth. And also to the hopeful elect who hope to be part of the honorable multitude of few men, many women, and children. Shalom. Bahasham, Barak, Atham. Shalom to everybody on the platform. Shalom. Well, love. How you doing? So, we're going to get down and deal with the rest of this lesson. This is a part 4. They don't understand how dangerous it is when we function as one body for Yahawah and Yahawashi. So when I left off on my other lesson, the last part, I was talking about the tares. So we're going to go right on after that. We're going to keep going. So we're going to start at Luke chapter 4, verse 6. This is Luke chapter 4, verse 6. And it reads, and the devil, which means deceiver, said unto him, he's talking to Yahawashi, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them. So all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. Lord, okay, Salakia, they got their alarms going off. They usually test them on Saturday. You know what that test is for? That's when them intercontinental ballistic missiles come hitting this motherfucker. All those motherfuckers the Lord ordained these Edomites to put out here. So when the time comes and they let out that alert, hey, you hear all them sirens going off, everybody's gonna be out here wailing and crying. Esau either gonna be running in the cave, wherever we at, we gonna be waiting for Yahawashi and Yahawashi. And Lord willing, we have been gathered with the rest of the elect to be taken up. But anyways, as it said in verse 6, he tried to give Yahawashi and Yahawashi, he tried to tell him that, you know, that he's got the power to be able to give you the riches of this world, which the Lord ordained him to do, because Satan is basically a son of God as well, but he's a wicked son, and he created him to do wickedness. That's his job, you know. So he's not disobeying the Lord either, but he has to pay for his position and his role and what has happened. So, like I said, you know, Satan has power, you know, over this world, and he will give it to whom the Lord will allow him to give it to. He still can't do it himself. The Lord has to say, okay, you can give it to him. You can give it to this person. And that's why you got these celebrities that have the riches of this world, because the Lord ordained these people to give themselves over to this devil and to be destroyed with it, along with many of our people. So, but basically, if you take that oath with the devil, he owns you. And as we were seeing with that female Jake, that female Judite woman, she was speaking about how she sold her soul to the devil, and she don't own herself. So she said, hopefully I cannot be doing music. But 3 years later, what's she doing? Wickedness. You know, she doesn't have no control. So, you know, so this is verse 7. And it reads, if thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. And that's how Esau Edom, the devil, which is what a spiritual demon, Satan, those are his vessels, the Edomites. Right? That's his main vessels. So he uses them to entice our people to sell out for riches of this world. You know, you have to bow down and sell your soul, you know, in order to receive these riches. These are the same things that Yahawashi was tempted with. Same way now. And we're representations of Yahawashi. That's why a lot of brothers, you know, have went through this same instance, the same situation. I've been through it. You know, these devils trying to get us to sell our souls for music and fame or whatever talents that the Lord blessed us with, outside of teaching this truth. Because this is a talent as well, you know, to be able to do this and have the faith to stand in boldness before your adversaries. What's up, man? Good. Where you from? Down the street. What about your family? Northwest Oklahoma. That's cool. What your heritage? Y'all Italian?
Oh, Irish.
Irish. Yeah. Hey, you know where the term Irish come from, right? You know where it comes from? The term Irish comes from black. Yeah. But we're not black, because when you look into it, the terms that we have now over our name, you know, Irish and black, white, Mexican, you know, these are all bywords. Okay, these were all invented around the 1680s. You know, so
because they don't call themselves that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you see. So this place right now we're in is Babylon the Great. Okay, because Babel means confusion. See, so basically, my question is Is your father a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, or West Indian, or a Haitian, or is connected?
No, sir.
Okay.
Close though. It was
Close?
Yeah.
Close? All right. Yep, you too. All right. So you was close. You better hope it. You better be one of them, okay? But he knew. See, he didn't say, well, he didn't try to prove me wrong. He didn't try to do none of that. You know? But we gotta test the spirits. Because they stay around. The more that only Israel, only the true hopeful elect, because we don't know who the elect is, but the hopeful elect is gonna stick around and be like, hey, what you talking about, really? What are you trying to get at? You know? But you know, those are common to some of the words that I use to test people. You know, I could have been a little bit more light, but sometimes I just be blunt. Your father ain't one of them. Hey, have a good night. You better off not knowing, unless you really make me tell you. So these are the things that Yahawashi was tempted with. As of today, it's nothing different. You know? So if he was tempted in the flesh, so will we. There's no way that we can't be tested in the flesh. It says the servant is no greater than his master. How can we not be tempted if the Lord was tempted? Him himself was tempted in the flesh. So this is Sirach, which is Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And these are some very beautiful words, especially the things that, you know, I've went through, you know, over this last month or two. The Lord has increased me in many ways. He's increased me spiritually. He's increased me physically. He delivered me from my court case. You know, all this stuff doesn't mean that I'm part of the elect. I can still not be part of the elect. But hey, I called on Yahawashi, and I did the work, and I had faith. And he's increasing me in some ways. So as long as I stay humble, and as long as I make sure that I know that it wasn't in my own strength, and it was Yahawashi who allowed all these things to happen, then, you know, I'll be on that right path. You know, it's got to be a lot of things to go right for us to make it through the day. And it's got to be a lot of wrong things for us to die. You know, and he's the one who ordains all of those instances. He ordains everything. You know? So, but just like Yahawashi, he didn't fall under pressure. And neither should we. We shouldn't fall under pressure when these times come. So this is verse 8. And Yahawashi answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written. See, he didn't attack him. So you got these other Israelites camps that come out with guns. They always, you know, the Islams, they was promoting violence. They wasn't living like Yahawashi. He didn't go into Satan and attack him with his hands. All he said was, for it is written. He told him them precepts. Just like us. When these demons try to come around, what do? We hit them with them precepts. Thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. And that's what we're doing. We're serving Yahawashi, just like Yahawashi did. He served his father. We serving him and the Father. You know? But we can't even get access to the Father without Yahawashi. We can't get down. We can't even, we ain't on no level to be around the Father. And that's why Yahawashi had to go through such a sacrifice to be able to bring us back and unionize us with the Father. And we hope to be part of that number that makes it on this side. You know, all Israel's going to be saved, period. But 2/3 is going to be cut off here for what they've done here and the last time they were here and not coming to repentance. You know? And some people who do come to repentance, some of us still going to have to die here. It's part of his will. But in the end of that, we're going to still be crowned. Some of us going to come back in the first resurrection. You know? The ones who have passed on. You know? But it says there'll also be some people here that don't even taste death. You know, we hope to be part of that number. You know? It says some people will be here that have never seen death. You know, we hope to be part of them. You know, that's an enormous blessing from the Lord. You know? But just to be a Hebrew Israelite, period, is a blessing. Period. You know? Regardless what lot you're in. So, like I said, he went back to the scriptures every time. So, getting mad and yelling at Satan, screaming at him, bucking up at him, that's not going to drive him away. Salakia, my allergies is messing with me a little bit. So now we're going to go to James chapter 4, verse 7. It's a lot of pollen in the air in Oklahoma, so always around summertime, my allergies start acting up. So James oh, good. Lock in. It's 1570. Back. Yeah, okay. So this is James, chapter 4, verse 7. And it reads, submit yourselves, therefore, to power, which is Yahawah. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So how do we resist the devil? By showing them that we have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Our role in this body of Yahawashi. You know, they can't steer us wrong if we know better. And that's why we must study to make ourselves approved unto Yahawashi. You know, and if you're going to be someone who is going to be someone who is really preparing themselves to be a bride for Yahawashi, sometimes he'll send you someone to be your bride, send you a wife, so you can understand that connection that we have with Yahawashi. You know, how to guide your wife, you know, how to be patient with her, how to be understanding, you know, because why? Because she's the weaker vessel. Just like with us, we're the weaker vessel compared to Yahawashi. We can't do nothing without him. Just like our wives, they can't do nothing without us. And it's a connection. It's a branch, a connection to understand why it's set up like this. You know, so we can have total reliance on Yahawashi, not because we weaker, or whatever. It's because if he made us any more powerful, we would be out here like 2/3 acting like we don't need him. You know? And we don't want that. You know, we want Yahawah's guidance. Period. So it's a blessing to be, you know, someone who is under leadership. You know? It talks about how better is those who have necessary patience, seeking the will of the Lord, than living their life without a God. 2/3 out here doing everything and they ain't gonna even pay off. We don't want that. You know? So so sometimes you'll get to that point where you'll lose it for a hot minute. Sometimes you might lose it. Hey, we're not perfect. But it says a righteous man falls down 1,000 times. I think it's actually 1,000 times. And he'll get back up again. You know, and it might be 7,000, but I think it's 1,000. You know, it talks about how a righteous man will fall many times. But always get back up again, you know. Always. You know, that's all we know how to do. It's just like how they're programmed to be wicked. We're only programmed to be righteous, but the Lord cut off our switch. You know? And now he's cutting it back on through this word. So now we're able to at least rehearse who we used to be. Whomever that may be. So this is Judges chapter 2, verse 14. And you know why we be getting hot every now and then? Sometimes we'll get hot for a quick minute and we'll trip out. That's because Yahawashi is like that. He got hot for a quick minute. This is that quick minute, what we going through. He got hot with us. So this is Judges chapter 2, verse 14. And it reads, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. See, he was hot against Israel. He was hot. And he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not no longer stand before their enemies. So the Lord was angry for a hot minute with us. And it wasn't that long. He said a day is 1,000 years. It ain't been that long. He done turned this way for a couple days. That's about it. You know? And these devils think they ain't gonna pay for what they did. They think that the Lord ain't gonna come back and destroy this place. He's starting to turn around. You know? He's turning back around, and Yahawashi already down here waking us up. And the Father's just starting to look back and be like, all right, my wrath is over on my people. Now it's time to go allow my son to go reclaim them. If you're not on that side, hey, it's game over for your ass. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, we gonna teach it the way it's supposed to be taught. You know, starting with our elders and apostles of the great millstone, to the followers on down like me. So basically, right now he's gathering ourselves back, just like we must gather ourselves back when we get hot for a quick minute. You know, we got to gather ourselves back in the mind, in the spirit. And we do that by only relying on Yahawashi to direct us on how to do that. Because we don't even know how to do that. You know? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 13. And another thing, just a quick little extra understanding is Deuteronomy means laws, the laws. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 13. And it reads, "Thou shalt fear the Lord thy power and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods of the people which are round about you." Why? Why should we not go after other gods? Because why? Because the Lord got hot with us for doing that, and he fucked our whole nation off. But this is part of prophecy. It had to be this way. Verse 15, and it reads, "For the Lord thy God, Yahawah, Bahasham, is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth." See? And what he finna do? He finna destroy America, Babylon, and Great from off the face of the earth. Why, Lord? Why they gonna do that? Verse 16, and it reads, "Ye shall not tempt the Lord your power, as ye tempted him in Massah." So see, these other nations are tempting Yahawashi. 2/3 of our people are tempting Yahawashi. Oh, well, if I just keep playing around, he might not do nothing. We gonna find out. He gonna do something, and it's gonna be horrific, man. It's gonna be a bloody ass time. So if you don't want to get in order, hey, all right. Ultimately, it's because the Lord want to fuck your ass up. And we don't want to be those people that's tempting Yahawashi. And just like back then, in the wilderness, what did Satan do? He tempted Yahawashi. Just like they doing now. They tempted Yahawashi. They tempted the prophets. Well, what if it don't happen? What if he don't come get you? Well, what if he does? It said, "Let every man be a liar." Man said, "Let every man be a liar, but the word of the Lord, be true." So either they ass lying or the Bible lying. You'll find out. So, and that's why we're out here doing this. Because we're not bowing down to none of them motherfuckers. We're not bowing down to none of these people out here. That's why, we're out here doing the work. This is showing we're not bowing down to this system. We still got to go to work and stuff. But that don't mean we bound down to the system. It says to use the world, but don't abuse it. And 2/3 of our people are abusing this world, and they trying to get everything they can out of it. They saying, fuck the spirit world. When the spirit world connect with this ground and everything changes, you're going to wish you did. You're going to wish you had a spiritual currency. Yahawashi. So this is Romans chapter 11, verse 4. And it reads, "But what saith?" Let's go back to 3. It says, "Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars. And I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of power unto him? I have reserved myself 7,000 men," which means a complete number of men. 7,007 means completion. So a complete number of men who have not bowed to the knee, who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. But all is how some other people say it. And that God, that ain't even Esau Edom's God. He got that from the Canaanites, so-called Africa. Esau Edom don't own shit. He is a thief and a vagabond. He don't fucking own nothing, man. And he out here acting like he did all this shit. That's why it's gonna get all taken from him. So we don't bow down to nothing. But Yahawah sent me Rawchaa. That's it. You know, that's what we serve. This is Luke chapter 4, verse 9. We're gonna go back to Luke. So this is Luke chapter 4, verse 9. And it reads, and he brought him to Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem, and set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of power, cast thyself down from hence. See? He was testing him, just like he's testing us, because today we are spiritually and physically Jerusalem. That's us. You know? The biblical Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians. We want you to understand that you must have wisdom and knowledge before you even understand what the hell we doing. You know? So Satan was trying to cast doubt on Yahawah. You know, they come like that. Just like the serpent in the garden with Eve. He was telling Eve, oh, well, you can be more powerful if you do it this way. You know? But it was set up like that. You know? And the serpent was subtle, smooth, you know, conniving, smooth words. And that's how we know it wasn't talking about a literal serpent. Serpents can't talk. There ain't no serpents walking around talking to people. It's the seed line of people. So this is Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. And it reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. How do we know that it's talking about the so-called white man? Since America, Babylon the Great has been in existence, I think there's only been about 20 years we have been at peace here. Every other time it's been a war. Every time. We had war with somebody. You know? Every time. So his words were softer than oil, yet where they drawn swords. And who was blessed with the sword? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, was given the fatness of the earth. America, Babylon the Great got 1,000 bases all over the earth. They draw swords. They act like they cool. They be all sweet, all act like they about justice and peace. I ain't done nothing but destroy everybody over the earth. And that's why the other nations are sick of this place. That's why we're sick of this place. That's why Esau Edom sick of his damn self. They're snitching on each other. You know? He said it shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. Okay? So that's how these devils come and these temptations come. So this is back to verse 10 of Luke. It come all smooth, just like that dream I had a couple days ago. You know, that Jake tried to come all smooth because 2/3 of our people, they act like Esau Edom, and even worse. You know, they really a bigger enemy than Esau Edom. You know, Esau Edom is scared of the Lord. You know, he's scared of the Lord. He trembles in the name of the Lord. But 2/3 of our people, man, they don't give a fuck, man. They act like it ain't no big deal until the Lord shred their motherfucking ass. They look at it like, oh, Esau Edom ain't been judged. Why would he? How he gonna do something to me? All right, keep that same energy when he come down here. He gonna fuck your ass up. I'm not finna get fucked up by the Lord willing. I'm not trying to be dealing with that. I don't want no smoke with Yahawashi. So this coming to verse 10. And it reads, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee. So Satan was trying to get the Lord. Satan was trying to hit the Lord with the precepts. Satan was trying to get Yahawah somehow trying to go off with the precepts. So that shows you that Satan knows the law. He knows the word. He knows the word better than most of our own people. And that's why you got to be strong in this faith and put on the whole armor. So when he try to hit you with something, you're able to counterattack. To show him, nah, you off. You're going off. So, you know, that's the same way the plantation Christianity, you know, those people who believe in that, they come with precepts, but they don't understand them. They have like a satanic twist to them, you know, because they do not have a guide. Just like I was saying earlier, I want to go ahead and pull it out. This is Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20, verse 32. It says, you know what? This is verse 31. This is a good point. And this is why it also references, it also is a precept back to talking about if you have a candle, you don't put that candle under a bush or under a table. You put it on top of the table so everybody can see the candles lit. We're candles. You know? This is verse 31, and it reads, better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom. So for a person to hide their folly, who does that? Man, that's Esau Edom in 2/3. That's what they do. They hide their folly. He said that person is better than someone who say they love Yahawashi and hide their wisdom. Okay, that's deep. That's cold, man. You can't be saying you love Yahawashi and not be gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It don't match. Verse 32, necessary patience. See, it's a marathon. We ain't no dead sprint. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord Yahawashi is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. And that's what 2/3 of our people are doing. They don't want a guide. They don't want a guide. You know? They just want to run around, do whatever they want to do, thinking that it's going to pay off. And it's ridiculous, man. But it must be done. I'd rather you do it than my ass. Luke chapter 4, verse 11. And it reads, in their hands they shall bear thee up. Talking about the angels, this is what Satan's saying to him. Please that any time thou dash thy foot against the stone. And Yahawashi answering said unto him, it is said, what he say? What he say earlier in Deuteronomy, in the laws, in the Old Testament, it is said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. That's all he had to tell him. He said, you already read the law, Satan. Why you acting like you don't know now? He said, don't be tempting the Lord. Don't do that. You're going to get wiped off the face of the planet. So that's a cut right there to show you another reason why this place is getting destroyed. Because they tempted the Lord. You know? All the way back in the Old Testament. Since the garden. He been tempting Yahawashi. But they say that Esau Edom ain't going to get judged. All right, whatever. You know? The other scripture that Satan quoted was in Psalms chapter 91. But we're not going to deal with that. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes. Yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 3. So it's Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 3. And it reads, sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart, which is your mind, is made better. So through us going through suffering and hard times, when we get through those hard times, it makes us stronger. It makes us our faith stronger. It makes us better men. And also the women, the aqua, it makes us all better to know how to serve Yahawashi. You know? Just like Big Bro, GMS in the Super Orlando, he said that this place is built to make you a better servant. You know? So we're going to read a little bit more. Verse 5. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. And that's what 2034 people are hearing. They hearing, you know, Geno Jennings and Deflo Dollar and all these other, you know, preachers that are not warning them of Jacob's trouble. They're not warning them of the danger coming. You got, you know, these other camps, IUIC, you know, these niggas in fringes. Okay, they don't really care about Yahawashi. That's why we don't want to deal with them. Okay? And they always trying to talk about coming in unity, but we're supposed to be coming in unity in this truth. And not just doing whatever we want to do. It's locking. My thought blew over. Give me one moment. Let me grab this book. Hey, you find out All right, let's lock you. So, I try to talk to everybody that come past. Not a lot of people come past, so I try to talk to them a little bit. If they seem like they want to talk, you heard him. He was like, I was like, are you native? He was like, I wish I was, but he don't know. Because he said he was adopted, so he don't know where he came from. So I said, hey, if you can find out a little bit, if you can accept it through the spirit, we all scattered over here. So who knows? Maybe he might come back to the truth. I said, go find out. See if you can find out who your dad was. He was a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitian. You got a shot to get out of here. But, all we can do is plant the seed, and then the Lord's going to lead them, to this truth. That's all we can do is plant the seed. So, it doesn't have to be a lot. The Lord will make it grow if he wanted to grow. So, like I said, we was over here at the verse 12. We just did Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 5. Now we're going to do Romans chapter 9, verse 33. So this is Romans chapter 9, verse 33. And it reads as it is written. And when it says as it is written, it means that it was in the Old Testament as well. Every time it says that. Behold, I lay in Zion, which is Israel, and also Zion, all those are Israel, a stumbling stone and a rock of offense. And whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. And see, so he had a stumbling stone, and we all have received something that stumbles us to test us in this faith. Whether it's a physical temptation or maybe it's an understanding. Sometimes you got to be more patient to learn some things in the scriptures. Sophia just not going to give you all the secrets, which is wisdom. She's not going to give you all the wisdom right off the bat. She has to try you and see if you really care about Yahawashi, And that rock of offense is the one that go to the as of now we are the hopeful elect. Because why? How are we the hopeful elect? Because we're the only ones who are really out here doing the work to the best of our abilities. We're trying to come to the Lord to the best of our abilities, and we hope to be a part of that number. We're not going out like Bishop Nathaniel and them and saying they're the saviors of Israel. We're not going out and saying we're part of the elect. That's what these churches do. That's what these other people do. They go out and try to say, oh, we part of the elect. We don't do that. Why? Because we're following the laws to the best of our abilities, and it said in Corinthians, don't make yourself part of that number. That's why we don't do that. That's why we say, Lord willing, to everything we do. Why? Because we don't even know if we're going to make it down the street. Okay? Without something happening to us. No, that's how much faith you got to have in Yahawashi outside. And it's training, because during Jacob's trouble, it's got to be Lord willing on everything you do. Everything. Breathing. It's got to be all Lord willing. It's got to be all the will of the Lord that gets you through that time. So, shalom to everybody tuning in. Yahawashi outside about to come. A lot of people tuning in. So, whoever believes in this truth, this truth that we receive from Great Millstone to be the 100% truth. And you got some brothers that say the 144% truth. It's talking about the 144,000 in governing body. Is what they mean by that. Is to be correct and to believe in Yahawashi. We're not going to be ashamed in the end of the day. We're not going to be ashamed. The Lord said he will come and sup with us. And this is how he's supping with us. As he prepares his table in front of our enemies. Some of these people are hidden enemies. And just because they don't say something to your face doesn't mean, that they're not an enemy. Some people think with their thoughts as an enemy towards you. So, anyways, was saying that him and the Father would sup with us. You know, and that's a great honor for us. You know, to be able to do out here and do this, even if we're prophesying in the wind. The Lord will bring who He needs to bring to your lessons at the time that they needed to be brought. Because there was one time, there was a lesson that I was so glad to hear, but I didn't hear it till maybe a week after he put it out. So just because somebody ain't watching your video right when you do it, that don't mean they don't care. We out here in captivity. We got stuff we got to deal with. So if the water for anybody who tunes in or comes across at any time, you know, we do this for y'all. You know, and we do it ultimately for Yahawashi. But what did he tell Simon Peter? He said, "Feed my sheep, feed my flock." You know, 3 times too. So this is 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. What's it? 1500s. 1576. So this is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Well, actually, yeah, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Yeah, let me go back. So this is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. And it reads, "Be sober," which means like know what time it is, because drinking wine is lawful, you know, but you got to do it without excess, because it makes the heart bitter when you drink with excess. But everybody has their limit of drinking. Just if you're gonna drink, know yours, and don't let it hinder you from doing the work or going to, you know, we got to go to the plantation to feed our families. Don't let it hinder from what our first purpose is. It's supposed to ease our mind. You know, it's supposed to like get us a little buzz. That's it. You know. But it says be sober. Like, don't be acting like you ain't supposed to be serving Yahawashi every day. Don't be doing that. Be sober. You know, don't be acting like you don't have to. But so it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. With what? His philosophy, his policies, his legislation, his dedication to just making sure we go off. That's all he's for. He's here to he's dedicated to making sure we don't connect back with the body of Yahawashi. Because after that number, whatever the Lord has written in his mind, you know, in Yahweh, his mind, the ancient of days, but all those people to be sealed, hey, it's game over for Esau Edom's kingdom. So that's why they do everything they can to make sure we go off. Because they know ultimately at the end, hey, these words is what's going to pull his whole kingdom down. You know, once we're all on one accord. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9. I think it's actually Zechariah chapter. Let me make sure. Let me double check. Just real quick before I move on. I don't want to say it wrong. So I think it's Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9. Pretty sure. Yep. Yeah, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9. I'll go ahead and read it. But then I will turn to the people a pure language. What's that language? Paleo-Hebrew. That's the name that we call on. Yahweh Shemal Shai, Paleo-Hebrew. He turned us back to this truth. You know? They don't use the Paleo-Hebrew here at all. You know, they use that Yiddish Slavish ass bullshit, talking about Yeshua and Yahawah and whatever else they got. You know, that's all not the name of the Lord. So, but then I will turn to the people a pure language that they may call upon the name of the Lord, Yahawashi, to serve him with one consent. See, it's under one consent. We got to be right and sync with the rest of the body to even be a part of the body. You see, you can't have a foot going left and the other foot going right. They got to both be going straight or going right or going left. You know, with the rest of the body. You know, and that's how we know that great millstone. They got to be the prophets of the Lord. You can't. There's no way that they can't be. You know, they're the only ones who are following these laws and statutes and commandments. You know, to the best of their abilities, and they're not telling you just like the other, like IUIC. They say, oh, you got to follow all the laws, even though they're going off on damn near all of them. Just like, you know, what's that other group? Watchmen for Israel. They definitely going on. Man, okay. These people gonna have some gruesome deaths. Okay. They ultimately were the Pharisees. Like Yahawashi back then. You know, unless they repent and convert. Because if you don't repent and convert, that means that you are guilty by association with this nation. And the blood of Yahawashi is on your hands. You know? Like I've been having this one dude. I'm not sure if he's a brother or not, or he's gonna be one day. But it looked like he just subscribed. He ain't got no videos. He ain't got nothing on his page. You know, but I've been that guy, so I ain't gonna just not talk to you. You know, so he got on there and was saying that it was beautiful that these times are coming, and I said, well, what is it for you? You ain't even serving the Lord right now. You know what I mean? In my head. But I didn't say that to him. I just hit him with some precepts. And I said, look, you're supposed to be warning the wicked of what's coming. And if you're not changing your ways and warning the wicked and going out to the highways and byways and doing videos, then the blood is going to be held accountable to you. Because if you are part of Jacob, if you are part of Israel, it is your obligation to serve Israel, not a choice. It is an obligation to serve your people. That is not a choice. Okay, that is a commandment. We are to serve our people and come out to these highways and byways. Luke 14:23. That is not something that you can just, I'll take my time with. No, you need to do that to the best of your abilities for the majority of your time on this planet. Whenever he wakes you up, you know, there has to be a big section of your life that is involved in this ministry, more than what it's not. And when it's not, you need to be preparing and studying on how to serve the ministry better next time you present yourself in front of the flock. You know, that's how we make sure that we are you know, staying with Yahawashi throughout the day. You know, so you know. Anyways, the people who are not aware of this truth are not a threat to this truth. So if they are a part of the elect, you know, because there's some people who are still not in the elect that are awake. How do we know? Because the end ain't happened. They ain't sealed. That's how we know elect's still out there. We still got work to do. You know? So eventually there'll be a threat. Why, Lord? Why they gonna be a threat? Because one, you know, once all the elect are sealed, like I said earlier, it's game over. You know, the other 2/3 in the other nations are not a threat to this truth. Okay, that's why they are seeking. That's why we are seeking to speak only to the lost sheep of Israel. Those are the only ones that's going to be effective to you. You know, everybody else is going to look at it like this truth is like nothing. Like we're just out here just not receiving our portion of the whole universe. You know, because that's ultimately what we are hoping we're doing. You know, but you have to be chosen. You know, but if we're not chosen, you know, we're going to do it to the best of our abilities and put out our image of the elect. And will know in due time. He said, I will exalt thee in due time. So that's why I said necessary patience in seeking the Lord is a must. You know? And that's why Satan blesses these people around us, these demons, because he has the power to. So this is Luke chapter 6, verse 24 through 26. But ultimately, he doesn't have the power. He only has the power that the Lord said. Like, he basically sitting there at the left-hand side of the Lord, or except the left-hand side of power, which is Yahawah, and he tells him, hey, I want you to go do this. And then he goes and does it. He doesn't have his own choice either. You know, he has to be what the Lord exactly, specifically told him to be. He can't change. That's why he has to be destroyed. You know, he only made him to punish Israel. Other than that, he's not worth nothing. That's why I said the other nations are nothing. They're a punishment. You see? So Luke chapter 6, verse 24. And it reads, but woe unto you that are rich. This is talking about 2/3. First and foremost, most of these talking about 2/3. For ye have received your consolation. See, they got their consolation on this side. You know? Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. And he's talking about in that time when we come into danger of Jacob's trouble, because that's why we're going through mourning and weeping right now. So when we get to Jacob's trouble, we can be the ones laughing at their ass. You know? Ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men speak well of you. For so did their fathers to the false prophets. So it's a good thing that everybody don't like us. It's a good thing that people think negative thoughts towards us. It's a good thing that people try to get us to go off, because that's a more chance that you might be part of the elect. You know? He said he chastises the one who he loves. You know? And if you're not receiving chastisement, what did he say? And you a bastard and you're not a son. You know? And that's why, you know, also to point out, why do you think they're so hard on the Judite women? Okay? Because you are his daughters. Okay? And that's why he's so hard on you. He's like, I can't believe y'all, damn it. Damn, I can't believe y'all. That's why they extra mad at y'all. You know? Because all the other women wouldn't be fucked off if y'all was running shit for these women. You see what I'm saying? I don't mean like you running women. What I mean is like setting the example. You know? And that's why, you know, a lot of people don't like Eve. Because she is literally went against the men of the Lord. But you know, you got those few women out there, those few Judite women. And when I say few, that's really like, to us, they thinking like, what, 1 or 2 women? No, it's going to be a lot more than just 1 or 2 Judite women. The honorable multitude is a number that can't be numbered. There's going to be a lot of Judite women in that number. It's just not going to be, it's going to be a small number compared to all the Judite women on the earth. See what I'm saying? So, you know, the reason why they bug us so much, because we are basically a menace to these demons. They do not want to see us get in the right path and start acting right, because it's dangerous. People start seeing the Judite women come up and start worshiping their men and calling them Lord and doing right by their husband. Hey, this place gonna be in trouble, man. Because you know, just like the elders and apostles say, you know, the state of the nation is how you can see if they fallen is how they women act. And if y'all acting in order, hey, you already know the men acting in order. Because that's why he woke up his men first. You know what I'm saying? He woke up his Judite men first, and now he's gonna wake up the rest of the nations. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he's doing right now. You know, he's waking up he woke up the Judite men and all the other men of Israel. You know, you got some northern tribe that started off with him, but you know, it's a lot of Judite men that are waking up before most of the tribes. Because why? Because they was the head. You know, Yahawashi came out of the tribe of Judah. You know? So, you know, That's what it's supposed to be like. That's the order, you know. So that's why, you know, sometimes we feel real down. Sometimes we feel like, man, this shit's so bad, we about to just drop dead and end up back in the spirit world. You know, all types of manner things that we go through and that we go through on a daily basis. So this is Job chapter 2, verse 9. And it reads, then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse power and die. And that's how most of our women feel here. You know, they feel like we don't have no integrity. You know, for how much we suffer for Yahawashi. You know, this is what most women feel like. You know, even some of them in the truth. I'm not saying any of them are, but it happens. You know, they feel that same way. You know, they just be like, but in this sense, it's a spiritual way of saying, well, you just going through all this shit, we ain't living good. Fuck the Most High. Let's just go back into the world. That's what some women have done to some of the men of the Lord, and they went back into the world with them. You know, it says some men have lost their wits for women, man. We don't want to be those type of men. You know, so this is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 7. Hold on, man. Okay, okay, that's cool. Yeah, but hey, yeah, he wasn't feeling it. That's cool. So Proverbs chapter 18, verse 7. You know, I tried to ask him, I was like, do you feel like, you know, the so-called white man should pay for what he did to all the nations with his economic hitman going around taking everybody's shit, you know, and the so-called Negro Latinos named American West Indian Haitians putting us in slavery? He said, no, I don't think so. Well, guess what, buddy? They're going to pay for it. So Proverbs chapter 18, verse 7, it says, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. And that's what happened. You know, the answer that he gave was destruction. You know, he put destruction on himself. But hey, that's what the Lord got us out here for. He got some of us, he got us to either condemn you or you're going to be eventually pulled into this truth. You know? So, you know, I always try to ask, you know, who they are, and then I try to ask a couple questions. You know, like I said, a lot of people don't come out here. So, you know, you never know. They might be Jake. So Job chapter 2, verse 10. You know, not every Israelite is going to look like, you know, one of us. That's why I was like, it's by the Spirit. You know, you can see this as something that's important to know, and you just might be. This is Job. This is Job, chapter 2, verse 10. And it reads, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speak. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of power? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips? And that's how we're supposed to be. If we can't just expect to go through the good things with Bahasham and Yahawashi and not expect to go through the evil. You know, we got to go through hard times with the Lord. You know, it's a marriage. You know, sickness and in health. You know, life and death. We got to go through all these understandings because there's some ways we die in some ways. It doesn't always mean you just straight die. We die in other ways. You know, we don't take part in this world. We don't take part in birthdays. We don't take part in all the other pleasures of life. We don't smoke weed. You know, that's us dying in our flesh. You know, but after you really get rid of that stuff, and you realize that this is not beneficial for us, it's comforting. You know, because I used to be a big heavy weed smoker. Okay, everybody around here is confused why I ain't smoking weed. You know, they're like, you know, so confused. Like, you know, like some people I know, like they don't even talk to me no more. You know, they don't call me, they don't check up on me, nothing. They just disappeared. Why? Because that's the Lord pulling them out of my life because they ain't really for the Lord. You know. Job had great integrity and great patience. You know, we should be the same. To have that great integrity and great patience as men, you know, and also for the aqua, for the women as well. We got to have that integrity and that patience, you know, to deal with suffering and temptation, you know. And Job ultimately represents the elect, you know, that are going to go through all these trials, but they're going to stick with Yahawah Shine to the end. We hope to be a part of that number, you know. And then when you look in the book of James, it talks about the patience of Job as well. So we will be tempted, and there will be no end of temptation until Yahawah Shai returns. That's what we're enduring to the end. Temptation, trials, suffering, you know, hard times. You know, like people don't understand when they come into this truth. They don't understand that we got in this to suffer with Yahawah Shai. Everybody just think it's just gonna be all good, like it was a great time or something. Nah, you know. But the Lord, He will get the elect through it all. So we hope to be part of that number. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Lock here. That way. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. And it reads, there have been no temptation taking you but such as is common to man. But power is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So see, we're not going to even be able to escape unless we're going through temptation. You can't escape nothing if you ain't going through nothing. So you got to be going through something. Make a way for you to escape, to be saved. You know, you get to God the ballistic missiles ultimately. But there are temptations and things and trials that we got to get saved out before that. And that's the training to have that faith and that trust in that time of take us trouble. So, like I said, you know, this is just the stuff we got to go through. You know, there's no temptation that another brother didn't go through. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 56. And it says, it reads, the sting of death is sin. Wait, yep. And the strength of sin is the law. You know? Let's read 57. It says, but thanks be to power, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahawashi. Through what? Through grace. You know? And that's why we know we can't follow all the laws. We're in our captivity. So you got these other, you know, these other camps that try to say the law, the law, the law, the law. But we don't say through faith and grace. Why doesn't other people have faith? Because it's a gift. You can't have faith unless the Lord gives it to you. You know? That's what a lot of people don't understand. If they don't got that, the Lord didn't want them to understand that level of faith. So this is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 1. All right. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 1, and it reads, Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in lips and is a fool. And that's what we're doing. We're walking with our integrity. You know, we're not going to give up on Yahawashi, Yahawashi. We're not going to give up on the brotherhood, no matter what. Lord willing, you know, we're not going to give up on our people. You never give up on your people, man. That's just something we don't do. You know, Jake don't never give up on his people, man. We always going to look out for the elect. You know, we don't know who they are, but that's what we were called to do. We were called, you know, to defend this truth with our lives. And who is this truth brought to? To the elect. You know? So even if we're not part of the elect, we're supposed to offer them our lives. You know? As a sacrifice, a worthy sacrifice. You know? There's nothing better than doing this. So this is Luke, back to Luke chapter 4, verse 13. I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then I'm gonna close out because I gotta be at the plantation at 3. I still got a couple other things I gotta do. I wanted to at least get some time in with the Lord a little bit. I was blowing over. So Luke 4:13. So this is Luke chapter 4, verse 13, and it reads, and when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season. So see, he left Yahawashi alone for a little while. You see? Because Yahawashi resisted him. So after a while, you know, after the Lord proves you, he will give you a little break. He'll give you some time to collect yourself. You know, and another set of temptations will come your way. You got to prepare. That's how we prepare, by staying occupied in prophecy. That's why it's important to pray for strength. And, you know, for it not to waver in this truth. Just like it says in Matthew chapter 4, verse 11. Let's read that. Matthew chapter 4, verse 11. And it reads, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. See? They came and you know, strengthened him again. You know, he was back to strength. Because he stayed occupied in prophecy. He stayed occupied in the will of Yahawah. And that's what we're to do. We're supposed to stay occupied in prophecy, you know, as much as we can. So, Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. And, you know, Lord willing, I'll be able to come back out here before I go to my elders' camp in Oklahoma City. You know, tomorrow, Lord willing, you know, I can make it the boat. So, first and foremost, gonna praise the East and give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawashi. Gotta give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Qadash. I give double honors to the other apostles, a great millstone, who led me to this truth. If it ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness. In mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and strive to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. And his judgment is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. So water for above, water for tuning in, water for everybody who comes after. Shalom. The Lord willing, we'll be able to get into, you know, some more word in the Lord and stay occupied in prophecy as we get closer to the end. So shalom. Wow, blah, blah, blah.